Hey, fourth grade, we're going to learn how to add using place value and models today. And what that means is we're actually going to deal more with fractions than we will with decimals, but fractions that are formed based off of decimals. So in our first example, let's look at 4 over 10 plus 22 over 100. Now, we learned in our last chapter that when we add fractions, they have to be like fractions. And like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator. So if we're looking at this, can we add these two fractions as they are right now? We can't, because one has a denominator of 10 and the other has a denominator of 100. So the way that we can get our fraction out of 10 to be a fraction out of 100 is we can multiply it by 10 over 10. And that's what we'll do every single time, because when we're dealing with decimals, we're dealing with place values of 10, like tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So in order to multiply by 10, think about what is 3 times 10? Well, it's 30, and so all we do is we put a 0 on our 3 for our answer. So what we can do, instead of writing out times 10 over 10 and trying to figure out what that would be, we can just put a 0 in our numerator and denominator to show that we have multiplied by 10, because anytime you multiply by 10, you add a 0 to your number. So now I have 40 over 100 plus 22 over 100. And that is something I can solve, because now they are like fractions, and all I have to really do is add the numerator and keep the denominator. So what is 40 plus 22? 40 plus 22 is 62, and then we will keep our denominator of 100, so our final answer is 62 over 100. So the main thing you need to look out for in today's lesson is the fact that you are probably going to have unlike denominators, but there's a very simple fix in how we can make them the same. Let's look at our next example. What if we have 5 over 10 plus 1 over 100? Okay, again, I have a 10th fraction and I have a 100th fraction, and so I need to multiply this by 10 over 10, which all I have to do is add a 0 to the numerator and to the denominator, and then I can add my numerator and keep my denominator. So 50 plus 1 is 51, and I will keep the denominator of 100. Now you may think like, ooh, these are both even numbers up here, 62 over 100, I could simplify. Our goal for this lesson is to just use place value models to add. We're not worrying about simplifying in this lesson, so congratulations, you don't have to simplify. We're going to do one more example. Let's do 13 over 100 plus 7 over 10. So which one of these do I need to make into a fraction out of 100? Well, it would be the one that has a denominator of 10. So again, add a 0 to your numerator and denominator to show that you multiplied by 10 over 10. And then add your numerators. So 13 plus 70 would be 83. And then keep your denominator of 100. So our answer is 83 hundredths. Where models come in, and I'm not going to make you do this in your notes because it's a lot, is we're going to have our hundreds box where we have 10 this way, and I'm just going to do this real sloppy, and that's not 10, and 10 this way, and you're going to color in, what is 13 out of 100? So you color in 13, and then what's 70 out of 100 to show that when we're done, we have 83 out of 100. Okay, so do not draw that. That looks so sloppy. But in your assignment will be out of your book today, so that you don't have to draw this and you don't have to click into 83 separate little squares to color them in. You just have to shade in the boxes that are already on the page in your math book. So make sure you have your math book ready for today and do your best. Good luck.